One charger to rule them all? Let's find out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at this. This is the Inateck 45 watt USB-C wall charger. It's pretty nice. As you can see, it's a modest size, and the wall prongs definitely fold in or out. And input-wise, you can plug it into anything that's from 100 to 240 volts at 50 or 60 hertz. So a lot of flexibility there with different countries. But where this really shines is obviously on the ports and what you can plug in. So the top one is a 30 watt USB-C port, and then the lower ones are both 15 watt USB 3.0 ports. So I thought, you can charge multiple things simultaneously. So I plugged it into my convenient power cord, and then I have a Samsung J7. This is one of the sort of entry-level Samsung Galaxy phones, and I'm using a micro USB to USB 3.0. Some people, you'll see this is a Type A. It's the same thing. It's the square cable that everyone's used to. I'm plugging it in, and so now the phone's charging. But here's what's really interesting is that the Inateck includes a USB-C to USB-C cable, and it's pretty decent actually. It's reasonably long, as you can see, and I've plugged it into my MacBook Pro, and then the other end I'm going to plug into the USB-C port. So now, simultaneously, I am charging my laptop and my smartphone. That's pretty nice. And here's the thing, is that Apple says, oh, well, our minimum wattage charger is 61 watts, and really anything below that's not going to really actually be charging your device. Well, you know what? This does charge the device. Not only that, but as you can see in this hardware update and status system from the actual Mac OS itself, that it actually lists it as a charging device, even though it confirms that it's only running at 30 watts. Which leads to the question, all right, well, how fast is a charge? So when I had both of these devices plugged in, then the phone charged fairly slowly. It was only a 22% charge an hour later, so that's not going to break any land records. But the MacBook did pretty well, 38% charge in an hour. Now again, it's a 30 watt charger, so technically according to Apple it shouldn't be charging at all. So I'll take that almost 40% charge in an hour, and it certainly means that I can leave all this stuff overnight if I'm at a hotel or something, and by the time I wake up in the morning everything will be fully charged. Very nice. Now, the other thing that Inateck does, as do all these chargers now, I mean, they all have the same basic circuitry inside as far as I can tell. So it supports protection against overheating, overcurrent, overvoltage, and overcharging. And it doesn't use Qualcomm's quick charge system, but it does use what's known as PD 2.0. And PD is power delivery. So there's yet another standard out there. And it uses that to try to figure out how much wattage and voltage and, how much power can these devices you've plugged in take, and then it wants to feed the maximum it can. Now, obviously Samsung, this device probably could have handled a little bit more wattage than what this charger gave it, because 22% in an hour is not very impressive. But on the other hand, the fact that I can use all of these at the same time, and as an emergency backup charger, it can even charge my MacBook Pro, that makes it a real winner in my book. And in terms of travel, even if you actually just bring your own cables and you don't use the cable that's included with it, you fold up the prongs, and that's a pretty easy thing to put in your briefcase or backpack. And now you not only have gotten your phone covered, but you got all your other devices covered, and you got enough ports you can actually make a friend and help someone else charge too. So all that's very nice, and I think they've done a very nice job. It's a very nice feel to it. It feels like it's going to last a long time because it feels like it's well made, and that, my friends, is important. So, before I tell you the price, and I think you'll be pretty impressed by the price, but before we get there, let me ask if you can subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Cool. Now, this is the Inateck 45 watt USB-C and USB 3.0 charger, and it will cost you $28.99 at Amazon.com, and that includes this rather nice, well, let me unplug it from the other end. It includes this rather nice USB-C to USB-C cable too, which they didn't really have to include, but it was really nice of them to do that. So, I'm going to plug everything back in and get it up to 100%, which means I will catch you in my next video.